Hello everyone, Tamara here from Poshcat Crafts. Nice of you to join me. In today's video we're going to be decorating our front cover and the closure that is on the side, and we're going to add our metal embellishment to help us keep our album closed. Now my album is a little, my side panel is a little bit too big for my book. Now the reason why I've done that is because I've given it room to expand. So once you start putting your photographs in, your memorabilia, all your journaling, anything that you actually put in the album, it's going to bulk it up a bit. So then you've got a bit of a wiggle room, as we say, to be able to fit those things in. So we're going to start first of all with the closure. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to cut out some more craft card, and then our pattern paper that goes on the front bit and then in the side. I'm not going to do anything else major with that. I may put the memory sign down the side, but I'm going to leave that all up to you. Right, we're going to decorate the closure first. So you'll need to cut 2 of this next size in craft card, and the size is 4 3/4, which goes across, and 5 3/4 that goes down. But you'll need to cut 2 of those. So we're going to start with the we're going to start with the craft card first. I just need to move. I've got so many pieces of paper over this side, it's unreal. I just need to, there. Okay, so that and this. So we want 5. Let's do 4 3/4 first, by 5 3/4 next. Right, I'm just going to measure to make sure that's okay, and that's perfect. Can you see? There we go. So just wanted a small border around. I didn't want a big huge border, so that's brilliant. So you need to cut 2 of those. So that size is 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that's those 2, and then save these for another day. The measurement for this one is going to be 4 5/8 by 5 5/8. So you're just going in 1/8 of an inch bigger, smaller, sorry. So 5 5/8 by 4 5/8. You can see that there. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. I need to get myself a monitor because I'm looking at my little tiny screen on my video camera, and I don't always look at it. There. So I'm just going to check to make sure that that is correct. Yeah, and that's a nice lovely border all the way round. Okay, like that. There we go. So we can do the other one. So this one is the 4 5/8 again, and then that should then fit there. And we've got a spare one then for if we want to do an extra tag somewhere. So now we can stick these 2 together like so. That's 1, and that's 2. Okay, then we can stick them to our closure. Now I think I wish that I had now matted this here. So I would, if I was you, I would mat it. So I would make cut this out of craft card and then go down another side. I think that's what I would have done. I think I still might. Right, what I decided to do, I wasn't happy with the way I'd done this pattern paper on our closure. So I've recut out a piece of craft card with the same size die so that it's going to fully cover it up like that. And then I cut out our pattern paper in the smaller die so that we have got like a layer, a matte and layer effect. So I'm going to cut this at 1.5. So you need to cut the top bit, so that needs to be 1.5, like so. Hopefully that's going to be perfect. Yep, that is perfectly beautiful. And then this one needs to be 1.25. Okay, make sure you get it straight. So I'm just going to cut it this way because I know that edge there is straight. So 1.25, and then that should give me a lovely layer, which it does. Okay, so we can go ahead and stick the front one on, but don't stick the back one on yet because we will need that to hide our brad workings, etc. So let's stick these together. And on there, like so. And then that can then fit on there for us now. So put quite a bit of glue on this, and that then will make for a stronger closure. Okay, just make sure I've got it level. Okay, so again, don't put the back one on just yet because we're going to use that once we're finished. So now we've done our closure panels, we're now going to need to do our front cover. Let's cut out what we need for that. So we need to take the, are we going with the layer or the, I think we might go with the layer, if I can find what I've done with it. You wouldn't think I've just had it. There we go. So we're going to cut the layer out of craft card, and then we'll cut the pattern paper out of this, the next one down. The first time I come to cut that die cut, it moved, so I didn't get the full die cut. Second time I had an embossed line on there that wasn't supposed to be there, so third time lucky. Right, so that then is going to give us our front page like that. And then it's going to fit onto our front card like so. Okay, I love this, it's quite pretty. So we can stick the pattern paper down to the craft card that we've just cut, like that. Now what we're going to have to do, we're going to mark it. So what I'm going to do, let's just get that into position. So like so. Now what you could do if you have, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to use some stick and spray onto the back so that it just not permanently, temporarily sticks it down. So I did have some somewhere. Let me see the stick and spray. Where is it? Okay, so it's just this stick and spray. Okay, so it's just a temporary repositional adhesive. So you just spray it on to the back like so, and then we're just going to just temporarily stick it down like that. Okay, see, there's no mistakes when you craft. You can always get around it. So then that is going to fit over our front page like that. So what we're going to need now is our closures. So these are what I'm going to use 2 because I think we need 2 on this to keep it closed. Now I'm also going to use a binder clip so that I can maybe, I need to keep it closed. So I wonder if I can get a little bit there. It's just to keep it so that it is stable. That's what I want to use. Okay, and just put that underneath, just so that it is resting on something. Okay, so right, so we've got everything that we need. Make sure that it is pushed, this edge here is pushed right up to the edge of your page so that you get a nice true fit. Okay, right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place our closures on like so, and then I think they go that way. So these ones, you put the curved edge towards the outside. So I'm just going to come underneath and I'm just going to try and line these up. So what I'm going to do, I think what I'll do now is, first of all, I will mark, I'll find a pencil. Never one when you need it. There we go. So I'm going to do this on the front cover first. I'm going to come to bring you down just so that you can see a little bit of what I'm doing. Sorry, that's a bit quick. I know, I'm sorry. So, can you see? So, what we'll do is we need to butt it up so it is quite near to the edge of your closure page, and I'm just going to mark holes in pencil. Okay, like so. So I'm good, and then I come round and I will do this side. Okay, so I've marked our holes using a pokey tool. I've just poked them out. So then we're just going to add our brads. That's one. So there we are. So that went in a bit easier. Okay, next one. Make sure it's the right way. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, fold the backs down, and on this side, and then just get your little tiny hammer and just hammer them so that the legs sit flat. You don't have to do that, I just like to do that because then it gives you a nice flat finish. So that hopefully then is them done. Okay, so that's brilliant. So we can go ahead now and stick this down. I'm just going to make like that. Right, so now you need your, I'm going to use double-sided tape as well as wet glue. Okay, I've just put double-sided tape over the brads because just to help that stick down a little tiny bit more. Okay, so lift that off and okay, I've given quite a bit of glue on that because it's going to need a lot of it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So okay, so again just burnish that down as best you can. And then we can close this up. Then we need to just work now on the closures then for this part of the book. So I'm going to just move that out a bit because I don't like that. That's it. So again, make sure that it's butted right up. I'm just going to stick these on again and like that. So let's put that on. Again, you might just need to close it up like that to get a good closure. Okay, so we can then mark our dart, mark it there and there. That's one. And then again on this one we close it up over that, and again just pull that out so that we can mark it there and there. So I'm going to mark it a bit further out. Okay, so we can now then use our pokey tool, just poke out the brad holes like so, one and then one there too. Okay, let's do that one a bit better. And our brads. This bit is a bit fiddly, but it is well worth it. go down like so. Now if you make sure that the legs of your brads are going horizontal, you will then hopefully get them in, get to hide them. So like I've done there, so if you just turn them round, so they go horizontal like so. Okay, and then again with this side, so now if you didn't want this colour, Brad, you could colour the metal. You could use alcohol inks, that works really well, or you could use spray paints. That also works really well. You can get some really good spray paints now on the market, but if you use spray paints, remember to use them in, well, to read the instructions and to maybe use them outside. So I would do a whole batch if I was going to be colouring my metal. So then that is our closure. Now I'm not liking that very much. That is not very good. So I might have to put a bit something in there. Okay, I've actually come up with an idea. I think we're going to make a little tiny book, something similar to this, that we can just slot in there like so, and then that's going to keep that nice and flat. Okay, and then you also you'll get some extra places to put some photographs. So that's what I would do. If you don't want that, then I would make this closure here a little bit smaller. But as I said, I wanted it like that because as you gradually fill your book up with photographs, etc., etc., then they will bulk your book up more and more. So I really wanted to put that in just really to give, you know, room to expand, is what is my thinking to that is. But again, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it like that. You can do completely different. So to make our book, I think I have done a tutorial on making a book. I don't know which one I did it on. It might have been my other tutorial. So to make this book up, I'm going to use that's better. Right, so that is the edge that I don't want. So you need 3 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so 3 inch by 1 inch. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, that's beautiful. So you'll need 6 of those, but I think we only need 5, but cut 6 and then we've got 1 spare. So that's, and 1 more. You need your scoreboard, and we're going to score these in half, so you score them at the half inch mark. Okay, score. 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 And then 2 more. Score. And then score. so that's those. Right, now we need to assemble. Now to do that, just going to put these in the strap frame. Put those up there because I don't need them. Okay, so just fold these over so that you create your fold. Let me see if I've got a bone folder. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's our 6. So we're going to start with one sheet. Now we're just going to also trim off the corners of our structure strips. So you need to cut them at a diagonal. Okay, so I'll do another one to show you. So again, cut them at an angle up to the corner. This then just cuts off the bulk, cuts down on the bulk of your book, and also gives it a good nice finish. So do that with all of them. Okay, excellent. Just tidy these bits up. Okay, so this is going to be the right side and the wrong side is the lighter colour. Okay, so we're going to start with one structure strip. Sorry, I'm going to call these hinge strips, not structure strips, because they are more of a hinge. So we need to then put our double-sided tape on just one side of the strip, like so. Okay, now so that it's also be on the outside. Let me just move you up, this is annoying me now. I think that's better. Yeah, right, so we just put the double-sided tape on the outside of our strip. Okay, move you and take that off when I find the I must have 5 or 6 different I spend more time looking for them than anything else. I should really... Ah, look, I found a ruler as well. Okay. So, let's take off the carrier sheet and, right, butt it up to the side of the die cut, okay, so that you've got it kind of as near as you can. And then with holding one side, flip that side over and stick down. Okay, so you get it's like that. Okay, so now what we need to do, we're going to stick the next one on. So we're going to put our glue or our tape on the outside again. The outside of our hinge strip. Cut that excess. Take that off. Now with this one we're going to stand them up. So let's get them right. So if we stand them up so that the hinge strip is at the top. Okay, you need to pinch the bottom and then as you go up the sides, making sure that they are nice and level together, and then when you get to the top, then just burnish down. Now don't worry if this edge here is not perfect, because we are going to cover it with a cover. So we can do then the same to the next one. So we're going to work this way. So we're going to put our tape on one side and down there. Okay, then we can add this one on. Again, try and get it to as near as you can. I'm going to have to right, excuse me just a minute. I'm just going to bring you down because you seem to be that should be better. Alright, I need to get myself a monitor so it's right in front of me. Okay, so then we can stick this one then onto the back of that one. So more of your tape. There we go. Okay, get them stuck together, or not stuck together, but get them level, and then you can stick them down. Okay, now this to me is the easiest way that I've found to do it. There could be another way, but this is just the way I like to do it. I just think I personally think it's the neatest, but if somebody else knows a different way, then you know, please let me know. Because we're all about learning. So stick this one on, get them as level as you can, and there we go, and got 3 more to do. And then this one can go like so. And you see I've got a really nice neat finish to that. Can you see? I'll show you one that I made that wasn't as neat. Can you see? Not as neat. I tried it earlier and didn't work, so that went in the filing cabinet. Then this side, I'm going to just put the glue onto this side, and then that saves me having to do it in a minute. Take one side off, and then the last one, take that off, and then I'm going to put that together like so. Again, make sure that they are nice and flush, and then we have our book. Okay, and then hopefully that then is going to go into our memory book that we've made, and it's going to just act as a spacer. And just to clarify, we only then needed 5 of the hinge strips and not 6. So now what we need to do is we're going to make our spine. Right, to make the spine we need to have a piece of card at 3 inches, and we're going to do it at 1.5. So 1.5. Get your scoreboard, and then we're going to score our card at 5/8. Turn it over and score at 5/8 again. Okay, that then creates a very small spine cover, but that should be sufficient for our book. So let's have a look, because we don't want it too big and we don't want it too small. So that gives us a very nice snug fit. So I'm just going to burnish that to get a nice crisp finish. And then you need to add either your glue or double-sided tape. For quickness, I'm just going to add the double-sided tape, but you could as well add wet glue, and that will give it a nice strong fix. Off. And off again. Okay, right. Well, how I would then stick this down is I would get your hinge, so the middle of it, as perfect as you can, and then at the same time I would then push down on the sides and then burnish them well, and then that should then hopefully have been enough, yeah, to stick. So you've got your spine on there, and then it's just covering up those workings. Okay, brilliant. Right, next thing what we need to do is we're going to decorate it. So we need our pattern papers. So I've used one of the layer dies out of the Memory Book Base Creator. So again, if you've got scrap paper that you want to use, then please do so. Then it gets rid of all of the, it just gets rid of your scraps. So that's one. Do it this side. That's 2. And I think you'll need 12 of these because we've got 6, so 6 sides. So I'm going to see if I can cut out Okay, that's then our 12 that we've cut out. So now all we need to do is we need to then assemble it all together. You just need to then work out what pages you're going to put where, and then that bit is ready. So I'm going to speed this up because it's going to be boring you watching me glue, unless you want me to talk, and then in that case I'll talk for Africa. So that was something that was a bit unplanned, that we wasn't planning on doing when I started the video. So there. So that then is our book, and what you could do is just put some ribbon around. I think I've got some extra. I don't know if that, or I tell you what would be a very brilliant idea, if I can find them. In there would be some elastic cord. And here we go. So you could put the elastic cord around, and then that would keep it shut, and then that would act then as a little band that you've created. So I'm just going to put a knot in that eventually, if I get there. There we go. Cut them off. Then you could add a button or something on there to hide that, and then that keeps that nice and secure and closed. Now, have I got... No, I haven't got one spare. So but yes, I would do that, or put that to the back, and then you could just add something on there as well. So that just then keeps that nice and secure. Okay, you could also put one on, like something on the side there as well, on the spine on there, but I haven't. I've just left that blank, but you could do that. So let's see if our little ideas worked to keep our... So I'm going to put it at the top, and then we can close these up. Yeah, that's worked a treat. So with that in there, that's just act as our spacer, so that it's now keeping that nice and flat and level, and you haven't got that dip. So if I take it out, you can see it kind of dips down like that, and then if I put it in, it keeps it nice and flat. I don't know, it's very hard to show you. So that's flat like that, and if I take it out, that's like sort of a dip. Can you see this here? It doesn't sit right. Okay, so that's a bit better that way. There, can you see? So it sits like that. If you don't want that, then what I would suggest you do is maybe cut your closure panel a bit smaller if you didn't want it. But I put it in because you need to allow for expenditure, if that is a word, of your album. So just to combat that hiccup, I've then we've just made another little tiny mini album that we can just slide in either in the front or in the back. It can go even into anywhere in your book, and then that is just going to help your album sit nice and flat. Now I think I'm going to leave that now. I think that our album has finished. I'm not going to decorate the front. I'll leave that up to you guys on how you want to decorate the front. You could then use the memories die that's in the tonic one and maybe put them on there. That would be good. And also what you need to do is exactly the same that we've done to the front on the back, so just to finish that back bit off. So that there is then our finished album, and I must admit I'm really pleased with it. It's really turned out a lot better than I actually thought. And I have to say, some of you have already made your albums and finished them completely, these, and I have to say thank you for showing them. They've been absolutely beautiful, and it makes me quite proud that I've been able to do a video and people out there have then taken my ideas and recreated them themselves, and it gives you a lovely warm fuzzy feeling inside. So yes, they're beautiful albums that people have made. So this is our album as we've done. So we've got our front page that we've just got a pocket in with our tags. Then the first page here, we've just put a waterfall feature on there, so like that. And then we turn over, and then this is the first of our box pages, so that we can pull that out. And then we've got extra tags in there, and then this is just like a little secret pocket there that we've made, so like that. And then this is our first made up waterfall that we've made, and that, so you can then add different elements to that waterfall. And then this one is exactly the same. It's because what I did is I made one up first of all to see how it would go, and then I redid one on camera. Okay, so that's how we've got two the same. And then this one you open up, you've got like a gate here that you open up like so. So that's that gate there. And then in here we've got a little pocket for a tag. And then these ones here, these are just little, like a little tiny page, and I put some more tags in the sides like that, so you've got extra space there. And there's plenty of room, so if you wanted to add a few more tags in there you could do. So that's those. Then we come on to this page, and then this page is pretty much sort of a basic page, so you need to just add everything that you know you would do with this page. So we've just got some, you can add some extra tags in here. There's lots of space for tags, and then you've got a little flip and flap there, and then we've got some more of the tinier pages there with extra space. I haven't actually put any labels in there, but you could do, so that's more space for labels. You can't have enough labels. And then on this page here I've added a flap on the side like that, and then we look inside and we've added the little tag slots in that page, and then some decorative pages there with some tags. And then again this is the same with the flap, and then with the page slots there I did them differently, and again extra pages for tags. And then our last page we've added a corner pocket with some tags in. I just decorated the front. You would of course put your cream card or even pattern paper again if you wanted to on the back as well. And then that's all closed with magnetic clasps. Now I do get a lot of people asking about the metal, the magnetic snaps that we use. Now the ones I use a variety of different sizes. Mainly I stick with these ones, and these are a 10mm by 1mm, so they're 10mm wide by 1mm thick. Okay, they're quite sufficient to go through probably about 2 widths of paper. If you use like double cardstock, then I would maybe use 4 of these, so 2 in each place, so 2 pairs. Okay, I would if I was using those. And then I use this next size up, and then this next size is 15 by 15 mil by 2 mil, and they're just a little bit more stronger. And then I go to the big boys, which I think these are 20 by 2 mil, so 20 mil by 2 mil. And then I use them if I know, so I would use them maybe if I was going to use that to close my book, I would use those big ones. Okay, if you have any questions at all, then please email me, or find me on Facebook, or leave a comment down below. I do tend to look at my comments and Facebook page quite regularly during the day, so you know, I will answer as soon as I see it. You know, it could be within a couple of hours, sometimes it could be within minutes. It just depends if I'm looking at it at the time. Yeah, so just leave me a message and I'll be happy to get back to you. If you want to know anything of where I got any of my supplies from, then please message me, and I'll be able to, if I can remember, then I'll obviously let you know where I got them from. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Your support has been fantastic, so thank you again. Leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe. That would be lovely if you could subscribe to get my you know, so that you can actually then keep up to date with all the videos that I'm going to be doing in the future. My next video from this is going to be, I think it's going to be a baby book that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use the tonic dies, but that's not saying you can't. I will devise something where if I don't use the dies and use something else, I will devise it that it will work with them as well. Okay, I just want to do a square book next time, more than sort of a rectangle book. And I'm going to be using some I think I might use Copics, or I might use watercolours, I'm not deciding, but I'm going to do some stamping as well in with my book and do a completely finished book. Okay, so with that being said, again, thanks for watching and stopping by. Hope you will do so again in the future, and with that said, enjoy your day and see you soon. Bye.